What's going on, guys? So I'm going to talk to you about my morning and evening routine for success, productivity, just the works. I could have done this in two separate videos, but I thought, you know what? Fuck it. They're quite similar, and I thought I can give it to you quickly in one. So we're going to do my routines now. Now, I personally believe my morning and evening routines save me. They kind of set me up to just feel good, work better, and I'm just much happier when I have routines in place. That said, you can stray from routine from time to time. I do sometimes, depending on what I've got on. If you're one of those robots that just goes like, I need to be my routine, then it's like, okay, you do you. But for me personally, like some days I'll do this 100% for the whole week. Sometimes it's like 6 out of 7, doesn't really matter. This is the structure and the framework of my morning and evening routine. So let's get straight into it. So first thing I personally do is I wake up 45 minutes earlier than I need to, that I should. I do this everywhere I go because this gives me time for the following kind of steps. So no matter where you go, I actually recommend you do this all the time. The next thing I do is I don't hit the snooze button. Ideally, you don't need an alarm to wake up. You can set this up for yourself by going to bed early and just getting enough sleep. You don't want to risk it though, just have one just in case. But ideally, you don't need an alarm, but if you do have one, I don't hit snooze. It's just my personal preference. Because if I do, it's a constant battle of just 10 minutes or 10 more minutes. You shut your eyes for 2 seconds, you wake up and it's like fucking 10 minutes later. It's confusing and it's annoying. So I personally don't hit snooze. When my alarm gets off, I get up like a psycho. Try this like tomorrow, just get up like a fucking maniac. And you'll be surprised if your feet hit the floor, you'll be like, oh, it's not that bad. And you're already up, you're not gonna go back to bed. If you do, you'll feel like the biggest pussy in the world. So that's my personal preference. I don't hit snooze at all. Next, I don't touch my phone. I don't touch my phone and look at it or scroll social media. If you do that or even check your notifications, you're setting your mind up for this weird kind of, you're more receptive to like just the negativity and you're gonna be on the back foot. It's like sets your day up in the worst possible position. You'll start reading emails and going, oh my God, I could do that today. Holy shit, I haven't done this. And also in that kind of state your mind's in where it's just out of sleep, you're not thinking rationally and it kind of sets you up for a horrible day and also to like catastrophize and overthink things. So I have my phone on Do Not Disturb and I do not disturb it. I don't just even check it. I just let my mind wake up normally and then I start my day on my own terms. So speaking of which, the next thing is reading. I will read every single day if I can. It makes me happy, it makes me think better and it makes me feel better about the day. A few different books I like to read. Morning, I save my morning reading for non-fiction books, kind of like self-help books, something that is kind of interesting, but it takes a bit of brain power to read. I don't read something like fun or anything like that in the morning. I read something that kind of gets me a little bit excited because you kind of can act on it in that day. So I have a lot of book recommendations. You can check my previous videos on this. And in addition to this, I will caffeinate. Now I have Pride pre-workout every single morning. My morning routine, this is actually the one part of my routine that is exactly the same. It's Pride and reading. I do it everywhere I go. I do it when I travel, I have my book on my iPad, and I just enjoy that time. It's like me time and it gives me time to wake up, caffeinate, it's just like, it's nice. Then after about 20 minutes of reading, I'll do day planning. This is like maybe 10 minutes of day planning, just looking at things that I want to get done that day, the absolute essentials and then kind of the extras, and that'd be a nice bonus if I hit that off. I'll write that as a little to-do list just in my notes on those little like dot points that you can tap, and it's really satisfying to tick those off. So put those in there. I even put my like physical exercise in there. Speaking of which, I really like to do some form of exercise first thing in the morning. If you can, try it. If not, all good, save it for later. But fasted exercise really gets you going. It'll wake up your nervous system and you'll just be good to go. Next, I do some form of cold exposure. I have an ice bath, but I'm aware that not everyone has ice baths. Now, if you're in like Melbourne, you can probably just jump in the nearest pool of water outside, puddle, whatever. It's fucking cold here. Otherwise, have a cold shower. Now, one thing I've been pairing with ice baths lately is a Tony Robbins derivative of gratitude practice. I do this for a couple of reasons. One, it actually makes me feel really good. Ticks off the gratitude practice, and secondly, it kind of distracts my mind when I'm in the cold ice bath. So basically what I do in this bit is I set my timer for like 3 minutes and I'll either shower or ice bath, whatever it is, and I'll think of what I'm really grateful for. Like, and these are just like base level things like position now, family, health, anything like that. Really feel into it and just trying to like really get it. And even sometimes I'll do this and I'll think like, imagine if it was like my last day today, like kind of that feeling of like you're gonna die kind of thing. Stoics use this a lot. It's quite effective to make you feel quite grateful for the day. I do that, and once I really feel it, I move on to the next thing, which is like pretty much thinking what would my ideal day be today, and I plan through that and imagine it going really, really well, kind of like visualize that. And then the other thing I do is imagine myself really like visualize kicking goals in like 5 years, like something like that, like a type of person type thing. Usually that takes 3 minutes, and I'm like shivering and imagining all the weird shit, but it kind of does a twofold thing. It like gets that positive visualization going, that woo-woo shit, but it occupies your mind while you're in the ice bath, so it's a win-win. Then before I start the day, I will shower and go through my skincare routine. I've been doing this every single day for the last 2 months, and it's been working really, really well. So thanks to Tish Hanley for sponsoring today's video. Because they are sponsoring this, you guys get 30% off your first box and a free gift if you use this little discount link here. This stuff is really, really good, amazing. It's like got a nice smell and feel to it. It doesn't feel greasy or slimy. It dries quick, and I've noticed my skin's just been really, really good lately. I also eat pretty well, pretty clean, no sugars or much processed food or anything. So the skincare routine is in the shower. I will wash my face with the face wash. Now this is an essential every single day. We'll do this morning and evening. Then out of the shower, I'll use a serum. Now serums, I didn't know this, but they basically help put more nutrients into the skin. So I'll use that serum. Then once that dries, I'll use the eye cream just to hopefully prevent any wrinkles. And then I'll use the moisturizer. In the mornings, I use the AM moisturizer. Obviously, evenings, we use the PM one. Now that is this skincare routine. It's quite like 4 simple steps. If you want, you don't have to use the eye cream. I guess you can just narrow it down to 3, but I would recommend that. The wash, the serum, and then the moisturizer. If you can get in the habit of doing that, it just feels like your air fryer's done. Sweet. It just feels like you're brushing your teeth. It's like the same thing you do every single day. I don't think about it now. So guys, check them out. They're really, really good. Next thing, once my skincare routine is done, do my hair, whatnot, get dressed, we're going to work. So then I'll have my second bout of caffeine when I do my work. Now this is in the form of a long black. I don't know why, but I really like I like a long black in the morning. If you guys are in America, you're probably thinking, what is he talking about? He's gross, man, he's disgusting. It's because it suppresses my appetite a little bit. I think because it's a hot drink too, as well as the caffeine component, so I do like that. Then I'll have a side of soda water because that also suppresses my appetite and it just kind of like washes it down. Sometimes if I'm feeling cheeky, I'll throw a little bit of sugar-free cordial in there. It just goes a long way. Gets the coffee taste out of your mouth because I hate that. You know those teachers that smell like coffee? Like I don't want to be one of those guys. It's disgusting. So I have like maybe a sweet drink or a soda water after. Now this is kind of the perfect combination. I wanted to include this in this video because to me this is like the perfect storm of productivity. You have exercise that raises your endorphins. You already had a bit of caffeine earlier, so remember that. Then you have an ice bath, which really gets your dopamine going. You're like ready. Then you have another bit of caffeine. It's like you are literally primed to work. Now I do my most difficult work in the morning for that reason, is because like I'm ready, my mind is ready, I'm fasted, so the fasted kind of kicks off a little bit more adrenaline. As soon as you eat, you go into like rest and digest, a little bit more sluggish. Believe it or not, my mental focus is way, way better when I'm fasting. So I have this combination of like fasted, caffeinated, dopamine fueled, adrenaline fueled, exercise induced, like state of optimism and like, it's just efficiency, it's really cool. So I do like the most difficult work in the morning then. I don't do the easiest, I'll do the hardest, and usually I'm really excited for that, and so I'm like up and about. Sometimes it's filming because I'm in like a really good mood and I'll get that done. Other times it's just really difficult, annoying shit. So see if you can try that little combination of like fasting, caffeine, exercise, and cold exposure. Give that a go and let me know how you go in the comments below. And on that topic, I don't eat until around 1 p.m. or sometimes 2 p.m. In fact, today it's 3 p.m. Shit, I haven't eaten yet at all. It's been busy. It's been really busy today, so I'm like just moving and moving. As soon as I eat, I'm like, slow down a bit. Easy when, yeah, it's like a little hack if you're dieting. If you're used to fasting, it's like, easy as. Next, we're gonna talk about evening routines. The main purpose of an evening routine is to wind down, de-stress, and get your body ready for sleep. Don't sleep on these evening routines. They are very, very important. Your sleep is arguably the most important activity you can do. Because if you don't sleep well, like everyone knows the benefits of sleep, you'll die. If you don't sleep, you'll die. There you go, could have summed it up. But everything will be worse. You will burn less fat if you don't sleep well. Your mind won't be functioning well. You can't remember things. It's just horrible. So you need to prioritize sleep as much as you prioritize anything else. So the first start to my evening routine is a hot shower. Hot showers are associated with better night's sleep. I think it's because your body's trying to cool itself down after the shower, and a colder body temperature is associated with better sleep anyway. So I think that's partially the reason. Then I will do the same skincare routine I did in the morning, except just the PM moisturizer instead of the AM, which makes sense. Then, most importantly, I'll get into my slash potato kit. Now, this just makes relaxation 1,000 times better. We also dropped a new range there. So this, if you don't know, this is my brand of pajamas slash loungewear with my brother. It's just essential. Check out the new range, lots of breakfast foods. It's awesome. Then I'll have dinner. Now after dinner, I don't work. I try to take this time to switch off fully, because if I do work, I'll be working for like hours and I'll feel like I'm just wired. So I really value de-stressing and just calming down after dinner. That's like my cut. So then after dinner, sometimes if I'm still hungry, I'll have some fruit. Otherwise, I will have just OxySleep. Now, OxySleep is probably it is single-handedly my favorite supplement ever after Pride pre-workout. It's a hot chocolate, low calories, with relaxants in there. So the relaxants in there are mainly ashwagandha and theanine. I used to buy these anyway before EHP made OxySleep. Now it's like a convenient 40-calorie hot chocolate. And for some reason, it just tastes unreal. It tastes like it should be like 150 calories. It's next level. So definitely check that out. It's just amazing. Now I do that Sometimes I'll just watch TV, sip on OxySleep, and I literally get tired immediately. I'll also supplement with a little bit of magnesium. Magnesium biglycinate is what I take now, and I just get that from iHerb. And then before bed, I will write down anything kind of urgent on my mind that needs to be done the next day. That will kind of feed into the next day's to-do list from the morning routine, remember that? Because then it's out of my mind, I don't worry about it, I don't think about it. And sometimes I'll write down like 8 things and I'll go, oh shit, tomorrow's a big day. But then once I've done that, I can actually switch off. Then what I really enjoy doing before bed is reading, but I don't read the same book I did in the morning. I read a fiction book or something kind of just random, like to really just take my mind off. I don't want to think at this point. I enjoy like reading fiction for this reason, because you can just kind of slowly zone out, think about something else, and then usually that like just makes my eyes tired and I'm ready to sleep. If I still can't sleep at that point, as I'm lying down, I will kind of picture the things that went really well that day. And it's almost like a mini reflection / like gratitude practice. Like I only think about the good things really. And I think about what went well and I kind of enjoy that and just tick through the day like chronologically in order. And what that does supposedly is kind of get your mind primed for like optimism and like positive thoughts, so that when you do sleep, you have like better dreams, you're not stressed, and that kind of makes you feel better the next day. Supposedly, I don't really know, because when I sleep, my mind goes to weird places anyway, so who knows? But that's just what I do. And finally, if I really can't sleep, this is like a 3-step process to not going to sleep. If I really can't sleep, I will put on an audiobook and just let that play, because it helps me usually stop overthinking. Because if I can't sleep, I'm like thinking about something. So easiest thing is chuck an audiobook on. Do it with something that you've either read or seen before. Like I did it with Harry Potter for ages, and it takes fucking ages to get through all the Harry Potters if you're doing them for like 10 minutes at a time. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. Set a timer on the Audible for like 15 minutes or half an hour, whatever, and just zone out. I promise you that's like, it's so easy. Now, that is it for this video, guys. I hope you took something out of this. Maybe take a couple of things out, or even if just trying your own morning and evening routines, get something going, see how it goes for you, and let me know in the comments below. But that's it for me, guys.
Stay massive.
What's your morning routine?
You know what my morning routine is?
What?
I wake up, look over, you're reading, you have your pride, back to sleep.
That is accurate.
I wake up, you're typing out your daily plan, I'm like, I'll get up. Pride.
Where'd you get your pride from?
You make it for me.
And your evening routine is?
What's yours?